The crime report started with a briefing about the 4 police officers from the UK who were brought in to assist the TCI Royal Police Force. According to Ryder, these officers are already active and working.
They're all from the Metropolitan Police Force, which is locally would be called New Scotland Yard. But they're detectives, well, 3 detectives, very experienced detectives from organised serious crime and murder incident rooms. And 1 very experienced crime scene manager. I think the issue is I put a bid in for police to come over, and I think this may very much in phase 1. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I think, as Mike's alluded to, the uniform impact and the tactics that are being deployed currently are having a major effect on violent crime.
According to Ryder, there has been a decrease in TCI crime for the month of November.
Violent crime is the first week of November. Violent crime was lower that week than it's ever been since before the start of August. So it's down to previously unheard of levels. That said, there was the unfortunate incident of Friday. There was the bag snatch, but not the daily reports, the daily traumatic reports that we have been receiving in earlier months. Violent crime is certainly lower than ever, and it's brought total crime down to be lower than it has been for a long time in recent weeks. We had 4 days, I think, last week where there was 0, certainly 3 days last week where there was 0 crimes reported on Providenciales. That's the first in 3 years that I've ever seen it. 0 crimes for 3 days on an island like this is pretty good.
Ryder spoke about major tasks that the police force is undertaking with an emphasis on solving past criminal cases.
We want real strong detective and investigative ability to go through all the outstanding serious crimes, even going back to the Prince Smith murder, the police officer at Leland. So they're doing cold case reviews, they're looking at all the incident room crimes, they're looking at all the current live crimes as well. And they're also doing a scoping study to look at gap analysis, in essence. Where could we reasonably be, and where are we now, and what are the skills, capability, capacity and sustainability gaps, and they will be reporting with recommendations. So they're doing operational work, investigative review, they're doing scoping for the here and now and the future, and I'm led to believe this is phase 1. So in the new year there will be other forms of support.
Ryder reported an increase in the number of illegal guns confiscated by the TCI police force.
In relation to the amnesty, such is the success of some of our operational tactics, I think it's fair to say that since just before the amnesty began, we've probably recovered 4 times as many weapons as have been recovered in the amnesty. I'm not going to say how many have been recovered, but 4 times the amount in the amnesty by operational methods, and that means people have been arrested or people that will be arrested. So those people will have to think long and hard that they could have handed those weapons in. They didn't, so they'll probably be going to court after the end of the amnesty, which means they'll be vulnerable to a minimum term of 5 years. And again, we've appealed strongly for people to hand them in, and it's their choice. And if they take that choice, they'll pay the price.
The report ended with Ryder thanking the Tourist Safety Committee for creating an active community group to help fight crime.